Hi everyone, how would you like to enhance your paintings using Black Indian waterproof ink? Let's find out. This is a rough guide, my reference photo that I took of Arifes beach in Portugal, and so I marked in with a pencil, colour pencil. This is a pastel pencil, a very rough idea of the shape of the rocks, going around the rocks, and then I did a tonal sketch showing where my light, medium and dark tones are. So I've got the white of the paper is the lightest tones, and then the mid-tones of the rock are shown in that way, and then the darkest tones around the arch in that way, so you get a pretty pleasing pattern. And then I used Black Indian ink, waterproof, so when it dries you can't go back into it. And then I've got some Friskus film, which I laid, when it was dry, laid it on the top, and then with a pencil, dark pencil, just roughly, not pressing too hard, around the edge, very roughly, because I want to mask out the sky area, something like that, so that the ink won't merge into the sky when I put the ink on. When I spray it with water, is what I should say. And now I'm just wiggling the scissors round so I get like a rugged, rough edge depicting the, portraying the rock surface. It's really fun, this technique. I really enjoy it because it is so easy and it's so quick. Once you get past this masking phase, I haven't used this much, but I think that I'm pleased with it, and I will use it in the future more, but especially I use it with this technique. So instead of using the positive, this is what I would say the positive side. I'm going to use the negative area, which is the sky. I'm masking out the sky. I'm not masking out the rock. So if I'm not going to use it this time, but I suppose I could show you what I did actually. I peeled it off, I laid it on the surface of the paper across the sky and pressed it down so it stuck down, and then I put my ink on with a palette knife just on dry paper and just scratched and spattered, and used the broad side as well of the palette knife. Had great fun with this, and then used my trigger spray, sprayed it, and got these beautiful effects, which I'll show on another video. And so then when I finished, this was obviously flat against the paper so that the ink didn't spread through. You can see it's masked it out very well. I just added a few birds, so that's a little introduction to Friskus film. So, but what I did find was when I cut round it, I could see it then, but sometimes if you can't see the pencil, especially on a darker background like this board, if you hold it onto a piece of white paper, then you'll be able to see the pencil. So I'm going to now put on the watercolour. You can do it either way round. You could put the paint on first, let that dry, and then put the ink on. Or how about trying it with the wet ink, putting the paint on? It's just great fun. All these experiments are just super fun and I love it. And I've actually mixed the paint up already. It's quinacridone gold, permanent magenta, ultramarine blue. I tend to do use variations on three primary colours, the three primary colours, yellow, red and blue, because I find that it works very well for a lot of my paintings. So I've mixed it to a semi-skimmed sort of consistency, milk consistency, and now I'm going to wet my paper. I've got lovely clean water. Always must have clean water for fresh watercolour. So I'm going to wet the whole of the paper, and you can see just how easy this technique is. So that will be working in that trigger spray onto the paper, making it nice and wet. I'm actually going to spray the back as well to help it to stick onto the board a bit easier, or I could tape just the very edges. Right, with the water, this is just clean water. Just gently with this big brush. You need a big brush for this wet and wet watercolour. Just takes a minute or two for the water to sink into the paper. It's very thick Saunders Waterford paper. It's 425 grams. That's 200 pounds. So you don't need to stretch it. And I always use this paper because it's beginning to soak in now, I can see. Because it just produces lovely results. It doesn't cockle, that's the main thing. You can end up spending more on throwing lots of would-be masterpieces away because it's gone a little bit cockly, a bit bendy, so that's soaking in nicely there. I think that'll be alright now. I'll get my kitchen roll and then excess water run away. Don't want it on there. So the whole of that paper surface is completely wet. For this is hard work. Now the next bit's easy. It's such fun, wet and wet watercolour. I'm going to start off with quinacridone gold. I'm going to put it just above the centre and then into the foreground a bit, keeping it away from the top of the sky because I want that to be blue. Bear in mind, as they merge together they'll create different colours, and so then I'm going to add the permanent magenta just above quinacridone gold and just underneath. So I've got a sort of vague plan, but it might change, and of course I've got my tonal sketch, but I've put the tones in already, so this is the fun, exciting bit. I'm going to tilt my board all over the place, so off we go. Just enjoy what you're doing. It'll run. I won't know exactly where it's going to run. Keeping it, just gonna let it run partly where it wants to run, partly where I want it to run. Hopefully we'll get a nice painting at the end of it. Looks very bright, but I don't mind that. It'll come out good. So, I don't need to go into that one. I need to go into that one. I think I'm going to let it run about a bit. First, you can add water spray, which I might actually add some to help it flow. It's a little bit thick. Bear in mind when you do add water, it does dilute it. But it helps it run, so just a bit, and you get these gorgeous shades. at least 20% lighter. So let's see what sort of painting we're going to get. Add my Art-Lorraine now, which is a green shade. You can use whatever colours really you fancy trying. I find the Art-Lorraine green is, I prefer it to the ordinary bluer shade. It isn't green, but I find it gives a more natural result. So I'm going to put this on the top now. This is an experiment for me because I haven't used a hake brush for years, and they hold more water. They're really brilliant, but it's just about practicing to see which brushes work well for you. A little bit more blue in, I think. On the top. Lose that lovely gold glow. Could do some spattering if I wanted. Across there. So anyone can do this. Anyone at all. I could add water again, but I think I'm alright at the moment. Quite like that now, that's working nicely. Let's think. I might stop soon. It's very important to drain the excess away when you're wanting to let it dry, because if it's so wet everywhere, you can get backgrounds creeping in, which is okay if you want backgrounds. It's quite green up there, I don't want it too green, but I can change that if I want to. Actually, just bringing it down has helped. Just keep tilting your board until you're happy with what you're seeing. I do like the colours in there. I wanted to do a bright, maybe an evening sort of rendition of a refresh. It's looking very atmospheric. So I'll come down with my kitchen roll, and then I'm going to try it. Just go down there on the very edge. I'm going to leave it to dry naturally. I think you can dry it with a hairdryer, but don't hold it too close. Usually hold it about a foot away, because it can bleach the colour out, and disaster if you get marks. So keep it, don't put it on full power and hold it too close. That won't be good for it at all. As I say, hold it about a foot away from your painting. Yeah, and then see what that looks like when it's dry. As you can see, it's dried lighter, about 20% lighter, and now to finish, to put some scale in, I need to add some, just a few birds, somewhere around there. and I'm going to put the arch in a little bit deeper the colour, just slightly. It's looking like it needs a bit of pastel. In that area, and also I'm going to add some soft pastel around the outside of the rock. Just to strengthen the detail, using lost and found edges. On this gorgeous Arifesh beach in Portugal, and then strengthen the archway. The beaches are always changing with the weather. Just suggestions of rocks. I don't want to do too much more. Pastels are useful to finish off with, painting with. I've encouraged you to have a go at Wet n Wet watercolour. Thank you for watching. I'll leave it there. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video to enable more videos and 10-minute techniques to come. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Trees can look so beautiful in their winter state without their leaves. Their architectural framework stands elegant and atmospheric and is easily portrayed in a misty landscape with a spray of water, a palette knife dipped into waterproof black Indian ink. It's fascinating to watch the ink trickle in all directions across the white paper surface. Blow across it and you have ready-made limbs stretching forth. Spray again and spatter with an old toothbrush, dipped in ink for abundant twigs, all shapes and sizes, for a resplendent woodland scene. Dry and enjoy. Add watercolour and all is transformed. Colour bursts forth and new life begins. The enhanced result is stunning. Supposing we ignore a spiritual dimension offered to us, including God, our lives are totally transformed.